are Geekcentric, and you can be too. Love ya. Get home safe, guys. Peace.
Hello, I'm J-Law, but you can call me Justin, and welcome to the Geekcentric Podcast, and welcome to our special Behind the Geeks episode for Star Wars Tales of the Empire. May the 4th be with you all on this fantastic Star Wars day, where today we are sharing 2 interviews with you from the latest Star Wars Tales of the Empire series, which is on Disney Plus as of today, May the 4th. But before we get to those interviews, let me introduce you to my Jedi brother himself, Nate Shelton. How are you, buddy?
You're my brother, Anakin.
May the 4th be with you, Justin.
May the 4th be with
Sorry.
you.
Anytime someone calls me their brother, that's the first thing that pops in my head.
Exactly. You're my brother. Democracy. Oh, man.
It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them.
Oh,
You underestimate
Okay.
my power. Okay, we won't go into too much of that.
that's what people have come to this. They clicked on this to hear, right? That's what they're, yeah.
Absolutely. They hear our
That's what
lovely
they're here for.
voices. Before we get to our interviews, if with the occasion of May the 4th, I thought I'd ask, do you have any like May the 4th Star Wars traditions? Is there anything that you like to do or anything in particular?
It's, I think it's one of those things. It's like I don't know. I feel like every day is Star Wars Day for us, and with the amount of releases that we've been getting on Disney Plus, and it's just felt like we've had May the 4th like 100 times in the last few years. So I think it's one of those things where, it's always top of mind. I love checking out online, seeing, what some of my favorite creators are doing. I love checking out to see, maybe some of the collabs. I just saw a Fall Guys, apparently Han Solo skin coming to Fall Guys. So maybe I'll boot up some Fall Guys. Maybe I'll boot up some Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith on GBA on my analog pocket or something like that. But no, I mean, I was thinking about going to, they're doing these screenings for The Phantom Menace, and I was thinking about going to that. But it's so far away. It's too far away. I can just when my TV's right there with Disney Plus, I can just hit play.
Yeah, it definitely.
I don't know.
I think I saw that movie enough times in theaters that I don't know if I need to see it
True, we've
anymore.
actually seen it in theaters
a lot.
like,
I think
not
I've seen
that long ago.
That's the one that I've seen probably the most in theaters.
Mhm.
And again, I appreciate the fact that, like you said, every day is Star Wars Day for us. Like, we just live it, right? So,
Yeah.
and not to say though that it's great to see all of the fandom, and as you said, like the people that do some creative stuff in the space with Star Wars. It's really, really cool. There's all sorts of stuff too. There's so many big money grab things too, like figures and action figures and collectibles.
Oh
and
man,
all
as
sorts
if I
of
have
fun
any
stuff.
money.
Yeah,
to
exactly. It's like
spend right now.
they know how to tap into the Star Wars fandom to get you to spend money. But
Yeah.
I would say, like, I always try to watch something on Star Wars Day. Like, it's obviously I can't do a marathon. Life doesn't allow me to have that much time on my hands, but I try to watch something. And I think this year I'm actually going to revisit Tales of the Jedi and rewatch Tales of the Empire and see how this story or these stories work together to talk about, the one path and the idea of influence and how what that looks like. There's so many great themes within these little short series that work really, really well. So I think that's what I'm going to probably try to do this year.
I think this series is probably the best thing for folks like yourself that you described, like someone who just doesn't have a ton of time but wants to dip into the world of Star Wars.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think I might, for me, actually, now that we were talking about it, I might recheck out this series because whenever we get these screeners, it's our big stupid emails are in the center of the screen. So this will make it so that I can just maybe see them in all their beautiful animation.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. I think, with this series and it being fresh and new, and, Bad Batch just wrapped another animated Star Wars show, there's great content for us to enjoy. And Tales of the Empire is definitely a little May the Fourth be with you treat that I think all Star Wars fans will enjoy. And you're right, it'll adhere to that timeline of wanting to be quick and short if you don't have the time. But yeah, let's get into introducing these interviews. As I mentioned, we were fortunate enough to sit down with two of the cast members from Star Wars Tales of the Empire, the latest animated series that is on Disney Plus right now. I had fortunate opportunity to talk with Diana Lee Inosanto. You may know her as Morgan Elsbeth. Her first appearance was in The Mandalorian, and then she would go on to be a very important character in Ahsoka, and we get to learn more about her character in Tales of the Empire. Her story is the first 3 episodes of the 6 episodes. And, we get to see all the grief that she's gone through, being a Dathomirian, and sort of the trauma and influence that the Empire has had on her life. And yeah, we had this great conversation about her character and bringing this character to life in animation, and what she takes away from it. But dude, Nate, you had the chance to talk to someone who hasn't been around for like 10 plus years.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to chat with Meredith Salenger, who plays Barriss Offee, and has played Barriss Offee in pretty much every iteration, I think, except for in live action in episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Mm-hmm.
But no, she. Yeah, we had a great little chat about just what it's like to come back. And, Barriss is a character that has just been, it's one of those like sort of staple questions that I'm sure Dave Filoni was just getting, tired of answering questions or dodging questions rather, from fans. So now we get to experience a little bit more of her story in this series. Mm-hmm. And we also, I might have brought up Patton Oswalt as well, who is Meredith's husband, who is a lifelong Star Wars fan, but has never been in anything in Star Wars.
Yeah. He has the famous monologue, I believe, from
Parks and
Rec, where he talks about like scene opens and it's like it's a Mandalorian hand, and it's like how Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit. Like and like apparently that was just like something he kind of came up with, or I can't recall how the ins and outs of it, but even just the passion that he had in reading that, you could tell he's a Star Wars fan. Yeah. But let's get to those interviews. This is our interview with Diana Lee Inosanto and Meredith Salenger. Enjoy. Hey, Diana. My name's Justin. Welcome to the Geekcentric Podcast. How are you?
Justin, I love your background.
Thank you. It's a little messy. I've been kind of organizing some stuff, but I really appreciate the opportunity to chat with you today. I'm a huge fan of your work. I'm a big fan of Morgan Elsbeth. And, with Tales of the Empire, we get to learn more about her past and her drive and her motivation. And I'd love to know, how much of Morgan's backstory were you made aware of prior to this series? When you joined, I believe it was The Mandalorian was your first appearance. How much of this history were you made aware of?
Little by little. Classic Dave Filoni. I think, he was very strategic in the information he gave me. I knew that she had a brilliant mind, and she was responsible for building the Imperial Navy. I just thought, wow, so she knows how to engineer, right? And he then would also tell me about her being a Night Sister, and I go, oh wow, and the last time I knew really anything about the Night Sisters was when I was sitting on a couch with my kids watching Clone Wars, right? And a little bit of so, I had to really carefully, read, kind of guess maybe, I was at I don't know why I didn't ask, did she see the mask, or I don't know why, but I just felt that maybe she did. I just assumed she did. And then when it comes to her relationship to Thrawn, I knew that Rosario was going to say, where's Thrawn, right? Where's Grand Thrawn? I started looking at Timothy Zahn's books, and I started assuming that she would have something in common with the other people within Thrawn's circle. So that was, in a way, easy for me to kind of tap into that. But then later, when I knew I was going to be doing Ahsoka, I then came upon Ian Convery's book, Bug, and I thought, oh, well, then maybe she's one of these people. I mean, it was always a mystery.
Right.
But luckily, I think I was on to the fact that she was probably on Dathomir when all these horrible events happened with General Grievous. And
Yeah.
to confirmed, I was like, wow. And I just love that we see another presentation of Morgan. We see a young Morgan who's connected to her family, her fellow Night Sisters who she loves, and her mom, the relationship with her mom
Yeah.
in tears. So we know that she has the ability to love others. It's
Right.
just, how is she going to play this game of life in the galaxy,
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that what this series does so well, and it has done, and especially with Morgan's characters, it defines her a little bit more. It gives more definition to where we see her in live action, which is so great about these sort of tales of the Jedi and Empire series.
Yeah.
And given that Morgan is a very unique character, and having spent so much time developing her, are there any lessons that you've learned from her? I know she's a villain, but I know that there's probably, is there anything that you would take away from her? Maybe something that is sort of a way that you would live your own life in a certain way.
Yeah, I love that question because I think we understand that even though her armor is anger and revenge, there is a vulnerability to her.
Mhm.
By losing her people and trying to find her place in the galaxy and find acceptance. And it's fascinating that it would be Thrawn to give her that acceptance and
Right.
to recognize her contribution, her brilliant mind. I take away too the fact that she was resilient, and that when you have seen something as traumatizing as war or the battles that she saw and experienced, and you see, for me, I felt a lot of empathy for her, and I
Right.
just, wow, this interesting parallelism between her and even going back to Ahsoka. They both had seen terrible things and terrible events, but yet still Ahsoka was able to make certain choices and walk a path for the force of good
Mhm.
versus Morgan, who just felt like it's the ends justifies the means, and she's going to somehow figure out a way to restore, Dathomir and the Night Sisters somehow, which we see in Ahsoka.
Yeah, and I love that because, like, I don't really think of Morgan as a villain, to be honest. Like, I know she's depicted that way, but I think it's really just about motive and intention, and maybe it's just the way she has an outlook on things, but her commitment, her passion, her drive, it's there. I could see that as being tangible things that anyone would want to inspire to.
If you go back to the line that Dave wrote,
Yeah,
I'm a survivor. She really is.
yes,
She is
yeah.
literally a survivor.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Diana, thank you so much for taking the time to join us again on the Geekcentric Podcast. Again, I'm a huge fan of your work. I'm a huge fan of your character, and it's just so great to see more of her in this animated series. Bravo.
Oh,
Thanks again.
thanks for sitting in my home.
Have a good one.
Hey, Meredith, my name's Nate. Thank you so much for joining me on the Geekcentric Podcast today. How are you doing?
Hi, Nate. Nice to meet you. I'm doing great.
Good to hear. I'm a big fan of your work as Barriss in the Clone Wars, and now here in Tales of the Empire. It's so exciting to see her again.
It's so exciting to see her again. Fans have been wondering what's been happening with her, after she got jailed for her actions back in the Clone Wars. I think people are wondering, like, did she fall to the dark side? Is she, what's going to happen with her? And now we see her in jail at the very beginning, and we find out what is in store for her. Dave Filoni created an incredible arc for this character. She's got a lot of choices she needs to make. They're very conflicting choices. I think she's been sort of stewing in prison in her deep feelings about her behavior. Does she want to change it? Does she want to lean into it? It's interesting.
But she's so unique in the sense that, like, I agree with her, and I think the fans agree with her on a lot of things, but just maybe the way she went about things wasn't the right way. Is there?
Even Ahsoka sort of believed in some of the things that she had said. I don't think anyone's happy with how she went about it. But I think when you're caught up in moments of, like, you have this intense morality, you believe in your vision so strongly that you will do anything it takes, even if it is the wrong way to handle things.
Well, I mean, maybe not by handling things the wrong way, but is there, getting to explore the character a little more, is there anything that you've taken away from your time as Barriss that maybe you get to use in your everyday life?
I think Barriss and I are, other than, doing things the wrong way, maybe making poor choices, we're pretty similar. I think we both have this like very intense desire to do what's right. I think, there's a deep disdain for political power where there's like hubris involved.
Mm.
I think, she's got a morality to her that I love, that she knows who she is. She's not doing things that other people want her to do. I think even when she was a learner, a Padawan learner under Luminara Unduli, and she's going by the book, and she's very conservative in her peacekeeping teachings that she's learning. I think she's always wanting to do the right thing, always.
I love that. And I'm glad that yeah, you always want to do the right thing, and you seem to be given the opportunities that you get to do. If I'm gonna just be under the assumption that you like text Dave all the time, and like, if he ever messaged you back and was like, I've got some writer's block, I need to know.
Can I come up with an idea?
what's the next Tales of series? What would you tell him?
It's going to be like a Thelma and Louise situation with Ahsoka and Barriss going off having adventures together.
I love that. I love that because like, oh man, that would be so cool. And I would love to see them interact again.
I feel like we need to see them. I think they have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I think they have a lot to download on what's been going on in their lives. I think there's a lot of emotional things that need to be resolved for them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know your husband, Patton, is also a huge Star Wars fan. I was thinking like a Tales of the Cantina, get him in there as like a comedian, right? At the cantina.
Oh,
I think
that's
would be
brilliant.
Great.
Listen, he would love it. He has not done anything in the Star Wars universe. And as the nerd that he is, he's highly jealous. It's incredible. I love it.
Awesome. Okay. I think I'll wrap by asking one more question here. I saw in a Q&A that you mentioned that this might have been at one point, but Brain Worms was one of your favorite episodes of the original Clone Wars series. Is there a specific episode of the ones with Barriss in this series that you are most excited for fans?
Oh, in this new series?
Yeah.
Oh, every episode has something so strong. Honestly,
yeah.
Is there, the end, the sort of toward the end of the last episode, there's so much emotional, deep stuff happening. It's heartbreaking and beautiful, but every single episode I love the fight scene. The whole thing is good. I just love it so much. I can't pick one.
No, it must be too difficult, but it's all fantastic. You're fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. Barriss is such a phenomenal character, and I want to see more of her. I know you do too, right? So, just text Dave right now. And
Dave Filoni, please, more Barriss.
Come on, let's go. Awesome. Thank you so much.
I think the fans are pretty good about asking him for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll message him. Yeah,
okay,
we'll take care of it together.
Awesome.
All right.
May the fourth be with you.
Oh, may the fourth be with you.
And those are our interviews. I really am very grateful for the opportunity to talk to Diana Lee, especially given how much of an importance her character has had in Star Wars, and to see her kind of transcend into animation, to see that character can carry forth in other ways is really, really, really cool.
And it's also interesting just to hear that, even if you get to play the character, you're never made aware fully of where they've come from. You get to sort of learn along with the audience for the most part, and it sounds like that's true for all the characters that Dave creates and works on.
Yeah, well, Meredith seemed very excited to be coming back to this character 10 years later to fill in that gap. Like you said before the interview, there's so many people that were probably bugging Filoni. I'm sure it bugged him too. Like, to close out that story, you know what I mean? And to give that to fans, I think it was a huge testament. And if you could see Meredith is super excited to be coming
She's
back
so
and
stoked.
helping
Yeah.
to fill that out. So, well, that is it for our special Behind the Geeks episode featuring our interviews with Diana Lee Inosanto and Meredith Salenger from Star Wars Tales of the Empire, which is available to stream on Disney Plus today, May the 4th, Star Wars Day. Again, a huge thanks to our friends at Disney Studios Canada and Disney Plus Canada for setting up these interviews. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, feel free to subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. And hey, if you feel like you really enjoyed it and you want to share a review, you can do that. 5 stars goes a long way. We want to share our geeky Star Wars fandom with anyone and everyone. And keep in mind, we have a ton of other great episodes out now celebrating all things Star Wars, including our spoiler-free review for Star Wars Tales of the Empire, which is out now, so you can go check that out on podcast feeds. We also just wrapped our watch club for Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 3. This is the series finale. It was an epic episode. It was an epic conversation. Go check that out. Available now on podcast feeds. If you want to check out this interview and watch my face and Nate's face as we geek out with these two lovely ladies who are the heart of Star Wars Tales of the Empire, well, you can do that by checking out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/geekcentric. We also have a variety of other interviews available on the channel, so go check that out. There's some good Star Wars ones too. Hayden Christensen, Deborah Chow. Just go check the channel. You'll see them there. So from us to you, we hope you have a great Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And until next time, as we say,
May the 4th be with you. Love ya.
peace.